Hello, everybody, and welcome to your favorite 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time 3D printing live stream found anywhere on YouTube.
On Sundays.
On Sundays.
Specifically.
And nowhere else. Hello, everybody, and how are you guys doing? I'd ask James how he's doing, but, we get to meet up for a few minutes before these streams start, so we already know how each of us are doing. So
we didn't actually talk about it this time. We just talked about the fact that my tripod was broken.
Yeah, everybody missed that. Can I share the picture for those who don't?
Yeah, sure. I was going to send them over to Twitter, but why send our viewers somewhere else?
Right. I can just share that screen and give away all my Twitter secrets. So that's how James managed to fix his tripod moments before the stream went live. You can actually see down in the lower left-hand corner his tripod laying there in waste.
Yep, it's seen better days.
It's like bye-bye.
So this is the piece this is the head for the tripod, right? So that's the regular head with the threading on it. This is how it was attached to the rest of it. It's got I would say the thread of a wood screw going into a piece of plastic. So
high quality material right there.
Yeah, so I can't tell if where it screws into here, where it stripped the threads, or I just can't get it back in tight enough because this might be free spinning a little bit. I think it stripped the threads though. So, oh yeah, it definitely stripped the threads because I can just push it back in.
Push it back in.
You know what, I'll just pipe some crazy glue in there and see what happens.
That's right. Big congratulations! Shout out to Techie Dad for being first.
Well, if you're not first, you're last.
Sean Butler said he was actually here an hour ago, but he didn't want to seem bored and or pathetic. But we do welcome each and every one of you guys for being here today. It's
Except
exciting.
for that one guy.
Yeah, never that one guy. Gosh.
I had a rough week this week. I have a kidney infection.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, it's actually been bothering me for almost 2 weeks, but I didn't know for sure that's what it was, and I thought I was kind of winning because sometimes you can get through it without going on antibiotics. So I've been avoiding going to the doctor for obvious reasons. Always tells me I'm fat, and so
I thought it was just because you had to go outside.
Why not both? So yeah, I finally got a hold of them because I was like, I can't keep doing this, and they're like, oh, we can do it over the phone now. It's like, damn, I should have called immediately.
Yeah, that's how my doctor's appointments have been too. Is it's like a video conference over the phone. So.
Yeah, so usually there's testing they would do, but they said based on I have a history of, I've had a couple of these before, so based on the history, my own experience with it, saying it feels like it's the same thing, they put me on antibiotics, and then if it doesn't start to get better in the next couple of days, then I have to go in for testing. But it has gotten better. It's still not great. I'm a little uncomfortable. My kidneys hurt, because of infection. But
well, you only need one, so you should give up one, and then you won't have as much.
Cut my infection rate by 50%.
Right, you won't have as much room for pain.
Yeah.
Well, that does not sound fun. I've had a rough day today. I have had poo-poo fingers all day. Where everything I touch turns to poop.
Oh, I thought you just ran out of toilet paper.
No. I went out to work on my lawn tractor today, and I went to the shed and went to start it, and the battery was dead. So I had to push it out to get a jump start. Got a jump started, drove it around to the garage, put it up in the air. The whole entire mowing deck is all rotted out. One of the anti-scalp wheel brackets is completely rotted off. So I went to weld it, but it's so rotted that as soon as the welder touched it, it just ate it. And then let's see, I broke my welding helmet. So now I get to go get a new one of those. And then I broke my air-powered die grinder, so I get to get a new one of those. Found out the belt is bad on the mower as well. So it's just like, I was like, oh, I'm done.
You upset somebody.
Uncle Ron said I should 3D print a new deck on the FK1. Yeah, I don't think if my steel deck isn't holding up to this Florida sand, I don't imagine how a plastic one would do. I'm back to drinking my Coke Zero.
Back to talking about cars. What?
In case Coke wants to sponsor us.
So I'm going to start a discussion in chat because I need to order something today, and I'm looking for opinions, and it's not 3D printing related. I want to get a wireless gaming headset, and I've come to realize that many of the reviews on Amazon. So here's the thing: if you're looking at something on Amazon, look at the 1-star reviews to see, especially if it's something that's an off-brand, because I click on 1 stars when I see a product. I'm like, wow, that's got 1,500 reviews and it's like a 4.5 or whatever star rating. I click on the 1-star reviews and it starts coming with pictures of gift cards, Amazon gift cards, where it says in the back, we'll activate this or whatever. We'll give you a $20 Amazon gift card if you give us a 5-star review on this product. So companies will do this.
Oh yeah,
and
they shut down a whole bunch of Amazon accounts for people doing that.
Yep. So the first headset I looked at, I was like, wow, it's $89 and it's got a $20 off coupon right now. Like that seems, and it's got a 4.4 star rating or 4.5 star rating. And then I start reading the 1-star reviews and it's like, it broke. And by the way, they offer $20 for a positive review.
Oh yeah, like if you write a bad review, they'll be like, well, we'll give you money if you change your review. This pair right here. Which
was that one you got for Xander?
No, these are mine.
Okay.
This they're rechargeable because they're wireless. If you want the boom microphone, then you plug it in and they become wired. So when I'm talking on the phone, I plug that into my phone. When I'm listening to the computer, I unplug that. Now, if you're listening to the computer and you plug this in, they turn off automatically, which is really cool because like if I'm listening to music or whatever, and my phone rings, I can already have this end plugged into the phone, and then I can just jack this in, and it only goes in one way, so it's real quick, and then it'll switch over to the phone. They are One Audio, ODIOs. I don't remember how much they were, but I love these. In fact, I love these so much that they broke. They stopped taking a charge, and I reached out to the company, and they didn't even hesitate, and they sent me another pair. Like they just, whoop, here's another pair. And I still have the other ones, which work as corded headphones. They just don't work as wireless because the batteries are dead. Or the batteries don't charge.
So you can't, but there's no way to use those with a microphone while wireless, right?
Yeah, I'm fairly certain they have a mic built into them.
Because that's the thing for me right now. So I'm looking to, not this one. This headset I think sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
The audio is clear on it.
Yeah.
I have that, was it Be Excellent? It was a $40 headset I bought off Amazon for upstairs. And I've had a lot of complaints about how the mic quality is on it. So I'm looking for something. And then what Kay was saying, she's like, well, we should get wireless. Because whenever I have to like get up and get something, it's like disconnect like where the headphone jack is on my laptop and stuff, disconnect the headphones, pull them off, put them to the side, come back, reconnect stuff, which, plugging and unplugging stuff constantly isn't the best for it, especially if it's happening like 10 or 12 times a day.
Right.
But,
well, so I'll verify that that's got a microphone built into it. You just don't get the boom mic. It's just built up into the.
I think I'm looking for something that has the boom mic included in the wireless experience.
Okay,
I think that's the.
There goes my recommendation.
Yeah. Uncle Ron says just get a 30-foot aux cord.
Yeah, get one of the spirally kind so that it retracts when you come back.
Vert's Hobby says he has an Logitech H600. It works okay, and they're rather cheap. Nobody else is throwing anything in. Okay, I'm going to go take a look at the H600.
G993 is decent according to 3D Maker Kid.
Oh, I don't know how I missed his directly above the comment I just read. I think I just started scanning my eyes up and I missed the one that was directly above it.
Dave Randolph said, so buy $5 headphones and $15 profit. I don't think it works that way, but Chris Lane wants to know how many gift cards you got there, dude.
I'm also supposed to mention that this stream is now sponsored by Amazon.
No, they don't have any money.
The G933s. Those are some fancy boys. Doesn't look like they're available though. Oh wait, there's the 935. I guess that replaced it. It's Amazon renewed though, so that's like repaired. The 935s are $150.
See, I break headphones entirely too fast to pay that kind of money for headphones.
Well, as I'm looking at this too. Go ahead.
This is one of the most expensive pair I have. I want to say they were about $50.
Second, let me reopen them. Oh, the ones that you just showed off?
Yeah. I can't remember though, but I want to say they were about $150.
Especially if they end up being nice, I'm going to have to buy 2 pairs because, so Kay and I game, we go through spurts where we game with our friends. So right now we're on Among Us, which is one of the most enjoyable games I've ever played. Like party games. I don't know if you've played it before, seen anything about it.
Nope.
So basically what happens is it recommends a minimum of, I think, 5 players, and you're on like a spaceship, or you're at a star base, or you're at like a moon base or something like that. Like there's multiple
the game
levels.
that you just got?
Yep.
Okay. Xander just started playing that yesterday.
So we've put probably 10 or 12 hours into this game already. Essentially what happens is, so you're at this place, and if you're one of the good guys, you're given stuff to repair the station or whatever. So you got to complete all these tasks. And if you complete all the tasks before the bad guys win, then you guys win. And then the imposters look just like you, except for they're there to sabotage things and kill you without getting caught. So they'll run around like they're trying to do tasks, try and wait till you're isolated to a point where they can kill you and then get away from you before somebody sees like you and the body together. It's a lot of fun. It's like this game called Push the Button on Jackbox, kind of, sort of. Yeah, so we're all friends, right? And it's basically, so somebody like, oh, I saw blue near the body. And then if you're blue and you're the imposter, you have to come up with an excuse as to why you're there. You're like, well, I was just about to report the body and I saw you near it. And the thing is, if you're the imposter, you can still report a dead body and act like it wasn't you. So I've won rounds where I killed somebody and somebody caught me and I immediately clicked the report button and I'm like, yeah, I just saw Orange kill this guy. And he's like, no, I just saw you do it. And then everybody votes Orange. He gets ejected out the airlock. And then it's like, because of Orange was not the imposter. So it's available on PC, and I think it's free on Android phones.
Yeah, well, it was Xander got it through Steam for like $5.
Yeah, it's $5.69 or $5.29 or something like that. I ended up gifting
that kind of stuff I don't mind. The problem with Xander is he'll play a game for like 35 seconds and then be like, I'm bored of this.
AAA $80 title.
Well, that's it. It's the $60 and $80 games that get me. You know, it's like, whew. You've been playing for 8 hours?
Not today,
but you have a total of 8 hours into it?
Yeah.
I'm going to run some wizard. My printer is a wizard, Harry.
It was under $6 Canadian, Uncle Ron. We totally do occasional streams here where we play group games, and then we select, like, if it's that game, we select 8 people from the audience to play with us. It's too hard though, because everybody here would be watching the stream and would know who the imposters are. I hear a dot matrix printer running.
I almost bought one. There was a Oki Data 320. Yeah, that went across the auction. It sold for $5, brand new in the box.
Oh, you should have bought it. You would have gotten more than $5 out of it on eBay.
Well, that's what I figure, but I would have also had to drive up to Gainesville to get it, which is like an hour and a half each way. I would have had to go outside.
Outside's overhyped.
For some reason, the cat is very intrigued with what's going on. They don't normally pay attention to the printers.
If he jumps up onto it, it'll be a catastrophe.
What are you doing? So what's new in the 3D printing world?
I have a giant project that I can't share with anybody.
Nobody goes to Gainesville intentionally.
Gainesville, more like Lossville, am I right?
Chris Lane said, okay, Glenn officially made the stream title accurate.
I didn't see what the stream title is.
Printer. It's that I actually did something with a 3D printer.
Should I do some 3D modeling this stream? Should I get some suggestions as to what I should make a pie case out of, and then like try and model it while we're here?
Well, yeah, because that would count as one of your pie cases, and then that's one less you got to do.
Especially since I'm 2 videos behind now. I got my doctor's appointment Friday afternoon. Kate's like, "You gonna be able to release a video this week?" No, I can't get out of bed. I spent so much time in bed this week. I'm lucky I was able to work from home because I was able to just drag my laptop up with me and work on it. So for the next 5 minutes, start suggesting things you'd like to see turned into a pie case.
Pie case out of a pie.
That's already happening. So we'll push that one to the. I think that'll be like the Thanksgiving pie case. It's pie.
Well, but you could do it. You could do it for like. Well, I guess you could do it for Thanksgiving. Do it as a pumpkin pie. That way, there's not much design to it. It's just just smooth on the top. It's a pumpkin pie, raspberry pie case. Pizza pie. Cake case for the pie.
Cake case. Cake pie.
Curmudgeon wants to know if nano leaves are worth printing. Is that what was that Felipe was printing last week? Is that nano leaves? The triangles with the lights on it?
Sean Butler's pushing for one case in particular, but it doesn't look like it's particularly challenging.
Gosh, Sean, step it up.
Okay, so actually it is, because I would never be able to model the thing that's on top of it because I don't do organic modeling very well.
Yeah, I suck at organic modeling.
I just realized that there's 2 figures kneeling on top of it. I'm like, I can't model people. So, sorry, buddy.
This is a family-friendly channel. Let's not talk about people kneeling.
Oh my.
Yeah, I've never seen the cat this intrigued with the printer before, and they don't normally pay any attention to it at all.
Are you worried it's going to end up in disaster? A toilet pie?
A pie case that looks like a toilet.
Game Boy pie. See, if I was going to do, I guess I could just do a case that looks like a Game Boy. Because, obviously a stream like this wouldn't be long enough to model a functional handheld. I don't know if I'm going to end up doing a handheld during this challenge because of how time intensive it'll be to actually build something. The potty pie.
Paul Cumber says he'll be getting his CNC zone mill soon. Wants to know how hard it is to build. If you take your time, they're not bad. I mean, it depends on how terrible the Chinglish instructions are, but
a computer pie case that looks like a computer mouse. Do I have? Oh, you know what? My Pi 4 is upstairs. The one that I use for figuring out the sizes of things. Do I have a Pi 3 somewhere?
Bob S says FK1 Pi, but will it ever run? I don't know. The FK1 runs. Why wouldn't the Pi case run?
That's right. As far as anybody knows, it works just fine.
It does.
You've never seen it not work.
That's right. It may actually be running right now.
I need to get some Pi Zeros too. I have some case designs that I want to put Pis into, but the Pi 3 and Pi 4 are too big for it. So the problem I've run into with a lot of stuff is how would a Pi case that is a 5.5-inch device that you can slip into an old computer bay? Yeah, we could do that. Basically, so it holds the Pi essentially. Which way would you want? I guess you'd want the power and stuff internally then, because you can't have access to both if it's in a.
No, you'd almost have to have. Yeah, you'd want that part sticking out, and then maybe do like an HDMI extension or something.
Well, I think what I'd have to do is I'd have to mount this all as far over to the right as I can, right? So it couldn't be centralized in the bay thing. You'd want it over to the side because you'd want to be able to connect power and stuff to it, and then like a 90-degree bend on the HDMI.
Well, I mean, if you're running a Pi inside of another computer, chances are you're going to run it headless anyway.
That's true. So as long as you can get power into it. And you can technically power these things to the GPIO, but you need to make sure that whatever you're powering it with is very well filtered power that's going to not fluctuate. Because there's no fault tolerance at all if you're powering it through the GPIO, as far as I know. The tricorder. But do I do the next gen tricorder or do I do the original series tricorder? I'm kind of intrigued by this now, actually. I'm a Star Trek fan, so I keep looking at these ideas and being like, I could do that. I could do that.
That would be a Pi quarter.
Take a look at the images of the TOS tricorder.
Oh, Uncle Ron, I'm going to ban you for stuff like that.
You've been looking for a reason.
I have been.
We can't ban him for that. That's legal here. And in many places over there.
But this is a family-friendly channel. We don't talk about stuff like that.
So I could do a TNG tricorder, but a part of it's going to just be wasted or empty. You can't make the Pi bend, or I don't make the case bend. I just make it look like it could bend. So this suffers from one of the issues. So I can definitely build a Pi case out of the. I'm going to send you an image to put up. I guess maybe we'll do that.
I think you can. You can screen share.
I don't know. So I have stuff that I can't share open, but I guess I can save the image.
Down at the bottom, you should have a bar where like the mute and stuff is. There should be a screen share button down there.
Let me see.
And when you click that, it should ask you like which monitor you want to share.
Okay, so in here, and then screen share. Screen sharing is easiest with 2 monitors. Let's do the share to screen 2.
Okay, and then are you sure that's what you want to put up?
Yep.
I can't see it, but and then poof there.
So the problem we're going to run into, first of all, these things are really fairly tiny. So the Pi would have to be in here, and there would be no room for cooling or anything whatsoever. Because when we're looking at the Pi, I'm still visible here, right? So you've got the tallest parts, the headers here. You got your video and your audio, or on the side as well as power. But we got the GPIO here. We can see the reflection in the TV behind you already. Oh, That's funny. You can see the tricorder being reflected right over the back, over my shoulder here.
Yeah.
Just in case you're not supposed to see what's there, I'll just do this. I'll do this. I don't have a Pi Zero. That's the thing too. I've been getting contacted by people asking what I'm doing with all the Pis. I don't have enough Pi. Like I don't have Pis for all these. I've got broken Pi 3 and I've got a Pi 4 that I spent money on that I just moved from case to case to case.
It's funny to me that people are concerned about what you're doing with all of your stuff.
Yeah, like I'm designing these cases for other people to use. I'm keeping the cases, but they're empty. So I get requests from people for cases for other Pis and stuff, and like I don't have them, and I also don't have a ton of money to keep throwing at stuff. So, but yeah, so the snag we run into with the tricorder is that the tricorder's got to be big enough to accept the Pi itself, and if the headers and stuff are, is it showing my mouse? Yeah, it shows on.
Yep.
If the headers are in this part here, the Pi tucks in, say, over into here, there's no way to put cooling or anything on it. It's just going to be a closed box. There's no ventilation or anything. So,
and that would have to be fairly large.
Yep. So, but I could I've got miniature OLED displays, so you could totally have a functioning display where that is. So I can print test. I can bring in Fusion files. I can print fake Pis, but there's no guarantee that the fake Pi is going to have the same tolerances as the real Pi unless I have a real Pi to compare it to. So that's why when I thought we were looking at, if we go to here and look up the TOS tricorder, I typed TOS and that's definitely TNG. So like this guy here. Plenty of room in there to be a Pi case.
Yeah.
Can still put the OLED display up here.
By the sounds of it, it's time to take this thing apart and grease the bearings.
Make a Pi case for the Pi Zero that's in the shape of a Pi 4.
Oh my god.
I said Atari 800.
A case with sharp teeth, Pyrana.
I want to learn how to build keyboards because when people suggest building something like a Commodore or whatever that's got a built-in keyboard, it would be really cool if it could actually have a functioning keyboard on it. I mean, that doesn't look overly complicated. I'm sure I could probably do that. The question is, do I put the USB in the side or the back? I'll have to ask for Tristan's opinion.
Based on the shape, I would say back.
Yeah, no, to make the case as small as possible.
Make a 19-inch rack mount case, but just for one Pi.
Just one Pi right in the middle. Sean says he tried putting a radial fan in the bottom of the section of the tricorder to have it blow across the heatsink. Again, the problem with the TNG tricorder is the TNG tricorder folds up into a space that's this big, which is smaller than the Pi to begin with. I had the replica as a kid. It's not a very big device.
I don't know what Shane's going on about. Apparently there's a poor MK2 out there somewhere that needs donations because it's poor.
The Atari 800 looks like it'd be fairly simple to do, other than the fact that it wouldn't have a functioning keyboard.
Make the keyboard a button, like a reset button.
The whole thing's just one button.
Like when you just push it down, it just restarts the Pi.
I mean, if you hit any case hard enough, it'll reset the Pi. Should Okay, so I've got the Atari 20 or the Atari 800, and I've got a request for a Commodore 64. The TNG
I
tricorder
want
would
you
be
to
fine
do
for
a
me. As,
Commodore 128, but
I mean, that's just the second version of the 64 with a. Is it the
well,
same case or slightly longer?
no, it's the back side of it. Like the keyboard isn't as, it's not as thick. It's thinner, and then it drops right behind the keyboard, and then it flattens out. It's like longer.
Oh, they released the second version of the 64 looked like that. I'm typing Atari. Commodore 64 V2. There.
Oh yeah, I never realized that.
Yeah, that was the second generation of the case, but I think the 128 had more buttons on it.
Yeah, that was my first computer.
Yeah, the Commodore 128 had a longer, and then they reused that shell for one of the versions of the Amiga.
Yeah, somewhere through the years, I decided it'd be really cool to take it apart and paint it black, and I did, and now I'm sorry. So one of these days, I'm gonna have to find a replacement shell.
We'll just 3D print you one.
Well, I'd like it to be original. Oh, you people are late. I had a VIC 20.
VIC 20 looked like the first version of the Commodore 64.
Yeah, I wasn't. I didn't get my first computer until I was 13, and that was because they were ridiculously expensive, and we weren't rich.
Ah, you were rich in feelings.
I was rich in attitude.
Okay, I think I'm going to try and do a retro computer one. I'm going to have to get started sooner. We're not going to make any progress before we're done here. Should I do the Atari 800 or the Commodore 64?
Yeah, it's gonna mirror the crowd.
I'm asking the crowd.
All right, the first three that match. Tom Lama said both. Dan said 800. Ollie said C64. So that's 1 and 1. First one to hit 3. 2 for 64. 3 for 64. 64
I guess that's
wins.
it. I'm going to do the 800.
Dave Randolph said C864. All right, you want to remove your screen share?
Never. Also, yes.
Okay. Well, I didn't want to take it down if you wanted it to be there.
You did it. You're good. Okay. I guess what I'll do then, I'll get Fusion open. I will make Fusion visible. I will.
So when setting the Z, until the nozzle drags into the powder coat PEI, and then I back it off a little bit, right?
That's right. That's how the pros do it. Make myself tiny. I wish it was this easy to lose weight in real life. And yeah, there we go. Now I need to actually open Fusion. I can see Fusion, but only through the OBS.
Only through the eyes of OBS.
Okay.
Really need to get myself some more tweezers.
You've got just enough tweezers. Bert's hobby says I have to basically I have to scale my voice to the picture on the screen.
What's else? Smaller you get, the higher you get.
Itty bitty voice. They're like, you didn't change your voice, James. That's how you always sound.
Yeah, you always sound like that.
Annoying. You always sound annoying. You're so mean to me, Glenn.
I know.
Hurt my feelings. It's my own fault for having feelings, I guess.
Yeah, you shouldn't have feelings. Go weakness.
Yep. If I can get a side view of the Commodore 64.
I'm not really paying attention to chat, so if anybody needs my attention,
Too bad.
chat loudly.
No, say too bad.
Too bad.
That's just nasty.
Oh, that's nasty.
Okay. How was everybody's week? Now that we've talked about all the important things, let's get to the non-important things. I just cost you subscribers. If you're offended by anything I say, go ahead and unsubscribe from this channel. Chat loudly to me.
I had somebody reach out to me. I can't remember the name. Of course, I wouldn't say it anyway. Why give them any credit? But multiple emails about how they wanted to work this collaboration and how they've worked with other channels, and they did a recent release with so and did $350,000 in just 7 days and blah blah blah. And I thought, okay, well,
is this for YouTube?
Yeah. And I'm thinking, well, you obviously don't need me if you're dragging in $350,000 in 7 days, And then, then the second email came in. Hey, congratulations on reaching 4,000 subscribers. It's like, yeah, I did that like 2.5 years ago and just haven't gained any sense.
Yeah. Thanks for nothing.
Yeah, thanks for the late congrats. So I just listen. I don't think that this is the right matchup for me.
There's lots of people up in arms about the changes that are coming to Fusion 360 this week.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I said it sucks that they're doing it, but it's hard to not understand them being like, we've been giving this to you for free for a long time, and now we're not really prepared to give it to you for free anymore.
Well, it just kind of feels like the whole crack dealer, going to give you a taste for free for a while, and then when we realize that our user base is huge,
yep,
we're going to stick it to you. Kind of makes me glad that I didn't bother learning it. Should I really have a 9mm live Z offset?
Yes. Seems okay.
I like to print on the bottom side of the bed from the top side.
That's fair. All the way through. Eliminate the middleman.
That feels pretty good. I like that.
That's nasty.
We'll see how the block does.
So from what I read, so the changes. What was that?
Bird Hobby says 9mm seems like a lot. No, it's actually at 1.155, but I always set my pin to probe up a little higher. Some ballers said I can't figure out Fusion. It's so frustrating. Well, now you don't have to unless you want to pay $500 a year.
That's right.
And it's not that it's $500 a year. I mean, it's a fantastic product. Of course, now they're charging for it and took away some of the functionality, but I just can't choke down paying. I hate paying like subscription on any software. Just let me buy the software if I want to buy the software. But $500 a year seems like a lot to me. Now, and I don't know because I didn't look into it. If you pay the $500 a year, are you allowed to earn money off of that? Is it still the same limitation? You can
I
only
mean,
generate.
was
Well,
what, $100,000 worth of revenue before
yeah, I
you had
think it
to
was
start paying for it?
125,000 or less. Sean Butler said the changes in policy won't bother me. Tom says hostage wear. I agree.
So, like, they're limiting the ways that you can export your stuff. But from what I was reading, if you're a current subscriber from them, you're going to be able to continue to export stuff into the other formats until into the new year. But like people signing up in October will start with these new limitations, if I understand it correctly. Like the limitation to 10 project, they've confirmed now that you can activate and deactivate projects as many times as you want. So the limitation of 10 is only like 10 at a time. But if you've got one, it's like, got one that you need to work on, you can temporarily deactivate one and bring in a new one. But, you know, I saw people saying, oh, you know, the maker community made you guys big and now you're cutting us out. And it's like, first of all, Autodesk has been around for a long time.
Autodesk wasn't tiny for a long, long time.
Yeah. There's no sense to get entitled over. Like, I understand. I'm sad to see the features go, but I understand why they're doing it. It's giving everything away for free forever or whatever. Especially since so the thing is, it's a web-based product, right? Like it's cloud-based. So every time you do something in Fusion where you save something, it's a transaction for them, and they pay for that transaction.
Yeah, but they chose it that way.
No, absolutely.
That's on them. I would rather not store my crap in the cloud anyway.
Right, but the cloud, doing the processing in the cloud is also an anti-piracy feature, because before they had a free version, people were pirating, because as soon as you put in a thing where it's like, oh, you just need an activation key to get it to work or whatever,
right.
As soon as that's in there, it's very easy to reverse engineer how that works, put in the proper checks so that it thinks that it's activated, and then it ends up being, you know, pirated.
Right.
So
Hack Monkey said till they do like Evernote and limit how many times you can activate, deactivate projects. I used to use Evernote until they changed and started charging, and then I stopped using that. What's going to bite me is when Trello finally decides to start charging for their basic features. I mean, they have like a step up where you can pay, but the basic Trello function works so well for me in my ADD.
who said that? So Chris Girat says, assuming I pronounce his last name, Girat, I'm probably mispronouncing the last name, says Fusion 3 Fusion is still free. What are you talking about? I don't think anybody said that Fusion isn't free anymore. Nobody's, unless somebody in chat claimed they're getting rid of it. I said they're reducing functionality in it. And I was defending the decision. So, and he says that if you want to export.
Now, I understood that it wasn't free anymore. Maybe that was something that I said. So there is still a free tier?
Yes, the free hobbyist license still exists. They're removing the ability to export things into step files. And most of the changes they're putting in will affect people that have CNC machines and stuff like that more than the maker community.
Oh, see, what I understood was that there wasn't going to be a free base at all anymore.
Oh no, free base will still exist. For the majority of what you're doing, it'll still be fine. So.
Okay, well then I was wrong. So.
Yeah. Okay. So, my bad.
Thanks to Chris for pointing that out. Too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So the free version will no longer be able to export to step, and you'll be able to have a maximum of 10 active documents at a time.
Well, right now though, you can export right to STL, can't you?
Yes, and you'll still be able to do that. Okay. So step is a more distributed, like, you know, something that you can pass around easier for modification and import into other programs easier.
So I heard it as well, Chris, but it was you that went pointing it out. So this is a family stream. Keep that kind of chat out of the chat.
I've made no progress on this Commodore 64 case so far.
Well, as long as you keep moving stuff, you know, then it looks like you are.
That's right. I just keep drawing.
Just keep swimming. All
See,
right.
now I'm glad we had that conversation. We got it all straightened out.
My first layer looks pretty good on this.
Hey,
Now,
you can't say that name in here. You're using somebody else's product.
I can't say first layer.
No, that's somebody else. That's not us.
What?
The first layer is a different show.
Oh,
I don't suppose this is an actual circle, is it?
who owns the first layer? So
That's Richard, isn't it?
I don't know. All is done. Happy printing. All right. Well, that's it. That's my 3D printing for the month.
You did it?
I did it.
Let's do this one here.
I got to get a longer cord so I can plug my Pi in.
My whole goal in life is to make you mad, John. Close enough. Yeah. Oh, I guess that line didn't quite connect.
So I spent a bunch of time over the last couple of days scanning photos into the computer.
How'd that go?
It makes me appreciate digital photography.
Eliminate the middleman?
But when I started that project, there was no digital cameras, at least not that a normal person could afford. Figure I started taking those pictures 25 years ago, so things have changed a lot. But I bought a piece of software called Scan Speeder. Yeah, Scan Speeder. It was, I don't know, it was like $40 for the pro version. And after I bought it, I realized that I didn't really need the pro version. I could have saved $10, but too late. But it's really nice. You can just chuck a couple of pictures on the scanner, and it detects where the pictures are. So you don't have to do just one. You can throw a couple on there. My scanner sits upright like this, so I can only put 2 in at a time. It's a flatbed scanner, but it sits upright. So, and then it knows the separate photos, and when you pull them over, it'll auto name them for you and stuff. Like in the folder, it'll look, okay, well, the last one was 160, so this is 161 and 162.
Nice.
So it's pretty cool.
That sounds pretty cool.
Little shout out for them in case somebody's looking for some scanner software, even though they didn't give me nothing and I paid for it. But
I should probably check to see how big I just made this, because I feel like this is going to be much bigger than it needs to be. Also, I apparently rotated everything by several degrees, so I'm going to fix that.
Yeah, no, you should make it full size.
I don't have a printer big enough to do that. I don't have no non-working FK1.
Uncle Ron said that means Glenn's working on an antique project. Yeah, I'd talk about it, but people make fun of me when I start talking about cars on here.
So Chris didn't pop up in chat again after he made his comment about us getting it wrong about Fusion 360. So we might have upset him so much that he left the stream.
Well, I admitted he was right.
He may not have heard it, Glenn.
He got frustrated and left before I said that.
What did you do, Glenn?
What did you do? Maybe it was because of the way you pronounced his name.
Could be. Well,
No,
I apologize.
He's still here. Chris, you're gonna have to give us like the phonics version of the way to pronounce your name. Gerard?
It's not letting me rotate components. Why are you doing that?
You know, I used to be so good about trying to learn everybody's name, you know, that's behind a user handle, and then I've gotten really bad about doing that. So I'm going to go back to once a week picking somebody that I don't know their name.
My first models, I was like so meticulous about placing stuff. Now I'm just like, that looks like it's close enough. Nobody appreciates me anyways.
I hate when you forget where you put your Pi on the network.
I just followed the Ethernet cable.
Oh, that's not the right one.
How big are we here? 126 millimeters. Okay, well I didn't go any further with this because that thing would be huge by the time I was done.
This Pi may be having issues.
Let's try and scale this.
Yeah, it's having issues. The power plug got pulled out of it. Wonder why I couldn't reach it.
It doesn't power itself over radio waves, free energy. Scale.
All right, see, now Tom's just being mean.
Oops.
That depends on which truck you're talking about, Tom. If you're talking about Daisy, the white one, she is pretty much a lawn ornament right now, but no, the photo album that I was scanning has about 160 photos in it that I took starting the day that I dropped my truck off, my original truck, at the body shop, and then through the process of them painting it and stuff. It's always to have a photo album and give them a photo album. And so, like, I went through a lot of those disposable cameras.
So the only problem with this now is I'm not going to have clearance to put the pins in for the fan for the GPIO. I'm very, very set on having active cooling on my stuff.
That design right there will make it real easy to make the keyboard reset it, because you can just have the keyboard come down and short all the GPIO pins.
Yep. Connects the 5-volt to ground, immediate reset.
Just a piece of aluminum tape on the back side of the keyboard and you'll be good to go.
Yep. All set.
Pies need sinks and fans.
This is the discussion last week, and I had lots of people saying, "Oh, I don't have a fan on mine."
Again, I don't run a fan on mine. I only run the heat sinks on there, but I don't really do anything with it that's massive. You know, like the VPN or Pi hole is about the harshest thing I run on there, and even then, that's not.
Oh, it's not that I'm worried about building a project that needs to be split into pieces. It's the fact that I don't think anybody's going to want to build a non-functional Commodore 64 Pi case that takes like a roll of filament to print.
Yeah, $700 worth of filament to print it out.
Yeah.
Upgrade your Octoprint install to Python 3. Oh, I'll have to look into doing that.
I need to look up the dimensions of the Commodore 64 to see how big this is going to be based on the current dimensions.
Pi's own cases have no fans. That is true.
I mean, I guess I could build one case that doesn't have cooling. It'll still have room for a heatsink.
Yeah, I don't think the original Commodore 64 had any cooling in it.
Nope. It surely did not. Okay, so it was 40 inches wide. Does that make sense for the Commodore 64? No. That's over 3 feet.
Yeah, that's huge.
So they're not giving, it says 40.4 wide. Oh, centimeters.
I was going to say 40 centimeters.
Yeah. I'm not used to people actually using the metric units on these sites. And it was 21.6 deep. So let's go ahead and figure out how big this sucker is here. I guess I could have just inspected it. So we got 126. Nope. This thing's still going to be quite large.
Okay.
I could go smaller than that, I guess.
Oh, Xander wants to know what your Steam name is. You don't have to give it out publicly.
Yeah, I'll send it. I'll send it offline.
Yeah, he wants your Steam username and your password, and
Okay.
access to any money that you have in your Steam wallet.
And my mother's maiden name, maybe. Scale this down some more. Let's do 0.7. 0.7.
Dan said that he did the upgrade to Python 3, and it wasn't that bad. Hackmonkey said, double check your plugins before upgrading Python. Not all are upgraded.
Sketch.
Tom said you should make a Fun King 3D logo pie.
Yeah, but Glenn would never use it.
No, I use mine that I designed. It actually, and I don't know if I guess I ended up taking it out. The original version of it, I put the Fun King 3D name and in it, but I put it inside. That way people didn't have to have it displayed, but they'd always know who designed it.
Who's your daddy? I'm your daddy.
Who's your daddy?
Okay, we're back up to that size. Finish sketch. Oh wait, was that? I see. I think I accidentally opened a previous sketch and it resized this. So if I go from here to here, it's closer to, let's say, 80, 89 on the dot. So let's do 89 divided. What's it?
Tom wants to know if I'm going to finally print some TPU. Eventually. Not today, though. Today I'm just PLA. In fact, it's the original PLA that came with this printer when I bought it 1,000 years ago.
$166. Okay, get back to chat now. This is going for a case that I thought was going to be so much simpler than the N64 case. This is taking more time to get going.
It's just riveting live stream. People watching me play on my phone.
And watching me model stuff. I am the very model of a modern major general.
Can I do? There we go. I just make myself little down here.
Now it's up to me. Let's do this to a new body because I want to be able to manipulate that end piece. Isn't it amazing how you can do all these things and then all of a sudden you drag expand out your body? I'm like, well, that looks like a Commodore 64 now, right? Like you look at that and it's like, yeah, that looks like a Commodore 64 with no keyboard.
Yeah.
The only thing I think I'm going to do.
Uncle Ron said I must be ordering pizza. I am. I'm sending you a text, Uncle Ron. You better drive it down fast. Oh, and I have a secret to tell everybody.
Well, it's not gonna be a secret if you tell everybody. Tell everybody except that one guy.
Xander's birthday is in 6 days.
How old is he gonna be? 10?
He's gonna be 19. At least in his mind, he is.
What a punk.
Yeah, I'd tell you guys a funny story about what he drew on the shower curtain, but it's not appropriate for this channel. And every time I ask him about it, he giggles like a little girl.
Well, now I gotta know. He sent it to me on Twitter. I'll tell you if
I'll just tell you after the stream.
Okay, case is done. There's your Commodore 64. Now get out.
Excellent.
On a scale of 1 to 64, how would you rate it?
Now,
Needs a keyboard,
Oh, yeah.
I know.
no, okay. I was thinking that the I/O was on the other side, but
It
no,
is,
never
but
mind. No, not the GPIO, like the power and stuff.
on the Pi or on the
No, it's
Commodore
fine.
64 case?
It's fine. It was my head that was wrong.
Okay. So I say the I/O for the Commodore 64 is actually on the other side, but
Yeah, I don't think anybody's going to get that picky about it. Well,
because I want the audio video to be out on the back.
I don't think anybody that matters is going to get that.
That picky about it.
So then what you got to do is you got to make either just a hole or a trap door in the bottom so that you can get the SD card out.
I'll just make a hole. I've done that
Yeah,
for previous
make a like a square slot that you could pop it out of there.
Yep. So then
Uncle Ron, he'll be 14. And he's decided that he wants his first vehicle to be a Suburban.
nobody wants that.
I don't know. He liked the Suburban that I brought home, except for it's all rotted out because it's a New York vehicle. But Chris said it needs the 5 grooves at the top.
It's gonna get the 5 grooves.
It's got to be groovy.
Groovy, baby.
Groovy.
Was that your Earthworm Jim impersonation?
Yeah, that's as close as it gets for me.
Groovy.
Groovy.
There's a new Earthworm Jim game coming out exclusively on the Intellivision Amico. A console you've never heard of that I pre-ordered because I'm an idiot.
I've definitely never heard of it.
Yeah, it comes out. It was supposed to be out in October, but because of COVID, it's now not being released until April of next year. Stop rotating my model. Nobody asked you to do that. Oh, and it selected my previously done sketch, and it was like, no, you want these pieces separated again during this. And I said, well, I don't really. Okay, so this is 17.449. So we need 5 grooves, and then there's small spaces or small solid pieces in between them. And it looks like there's a gap from the curve. I'm just gonna eyeball this. And then there's the actual spacing.
Scott, I think that's exactly. He claims he wants it because he can haul a lot of stuff, but I think it's like the shaggin' wagon.
That's terrible. This is a family show, Glenn.
Yeah, I meant for hauling shag carpet.
Okie dokie. I don't believe you.
Brian Vines has joined us.
graced us with his presence, as it were. No, that's not what we want. Let's make this 1.4. And then try this again. Great. Rectangular pattern. We need 35 of them apparently. We need 5 of them. And drag them down. We'll just do that, 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 that. Actually, the question is, before I do that, how much space does that leave in between? 1.35.
Oh, the chat's off the rails.
Is it? Inappropriate?
It's definitely getting there.
Oh, I blame you. That's good. They're distracted. They're not watching me fail horribly at Fusion right now. That looks about right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And off the sides, I think it comes down a little bit. Yeah, it does. Let's do a 1.6 and we'll do 1.2. Ah,
Prime Mind said, I didn't realize chat had rails.
well, it didn't, but you guys went off them so bad that we had to make them.
Fill a Suburban up with gas and you double the value. Yeah, I'm actually thinking more
I'm a Ford Focus wagon.
oh,
Serves 'em
no,
right.
no. Why is it slipping me? The Blazer. It's not the Blazer anymore. The Yukon. I don't know. The smaller Suburban. Plus, gas is getting cheaper now.
Can I make it that brown color that every Fusion or every Commodore 64 turned? I think I'm going to do it. Search for brown. Light brown.
You can get fluorescent brown from Printed Solid.
I meant in Fusion.
Oh. Well, yeah, Chris, the Blazer, the S10 now. But there used to be a full-size Blazer, but now it is the Yukon and something else.
I don't... Color libraries. Can I find a brown? Oh, that looks about right. Is that it? Yeah. That's the color your Commodore 64 ended up if you left it if
it touched oxygen.
if it touched oxygen. Yeah, because of the
Some
bromine
other-
they used as fire
Everything
retardant.
James clicks on makes me feel stupider.
Mission accomplished, Dave. Who's Dave?
Tahoe. There you go. Builder's Mark wins the prize. Ding ding. The Tahoe. That's what I was thinking of.
So the Commodore 64 and a lot of plastics of a certain age used bromine as a fire retardant, and it yellowed and browned the plastic as the bromine basically came out of it. And you can actually reverse the process by using, I guess the simplest method is OxyClean dissolved in water, and then you put the plastic and you let it sit while heating the plastic, or heating the water. So if you heat the water up to like 60 degrees and let it sit, it will eventually take the yellow out of it. I had a mouse that I did it to, and I don't know where it went to, but it returned the mouse to almost original color.
Yeah, OxyClean works really well for that.
Yeah. But yeah, lots of people got flack for being smokers, and it's like Kay and I aren't smokers, but I've got a Super Nintendo that's currently discoloring because of the age of the plastic and the stuff coming out of it. So that's my blurb. Yes, 8-bit guys. Yeah, he does the hair the bleaching agent. I'm drawing a blank on it, but he buys the expensive stuff and dumps into a bucket with water and then leaves the stuff out in the driveway and lets the sun hit it, because sun will also heat it up, and then he covers it with saran wrap. So, but I've done it using a hydrogen peroxide. Yeah, sorry.
Yep.
I've done it using a 3D printer where I basically heated the bed up to 60 degrees, put a container on top of it, put the plastic in. Well, this was for the mouse. And then I set it so every 20 minutes, the G-code would wiggle it back and forth to remix everything. And
that works really well when you're etching PC boards too.
Yep. The process is called retrobrighting. So I have to do it to my original Nintendo. It finally took a turn and it's real discolored now. Okay, I have to put the keyboard mark into this now.
Ooh, these are looking really nice. The focus is going to be off on this, but
start off by
someday when I win the lottery, I'm going to buy myself really nice cameras and stuff for my YouTube channel.
y'all. You deserve nice things, Glenn. This is 41.078.
Polka dots, yeah. No, that leveling test that I run, every time that I go through calibration, I run this, and all it is a series of circles in the 9 positions on the bed. And when I first started printing, you can see that one back there has got a little bit of an issue. This one didn't turn out too bad, and then this one was a little bit rough, but I realized that the temperature was still set high from when I had a hardened steel nozzle on here, and it's a brass nozzle now. So I just turned the temperature down just before this one started. So, but they're looking nice, man. Nice. The greatest circles ever. Glenn's camera records on metal plates. No, it chisels into stone, actually. Sean Butler said, you'll quit trying to make money off of YouTube. Sean, I quit trying to make money off of YouTube a long time ago because there isn't any.
There's none to be had.
Truly, the only benefit to having a decent YouTube channel is that people want to give you stuff for free. I've been watching a lot of fabrication channels, and there's a company that makes a CNC plasma table, and apparently they hooked up a lot of YouTubers with one, because every time that you tune into a video that they're using it, they're like, oh, I have a link down in the description where you can save yourself $100 and I get a little kickback too.
Amazing how that works.
I'm like, I want a CNC plasma table for free.
There, that looks right, doesn't it? That looks like the right hole for the...
Looks pretty good. Now what you have to do, though, is you have to make the keyboard hinge up so you can get to the GPIO plugs.
I guess technically...
Pop in and out.
You know what? Technically, since the keyboard's going to be... Like, the keyboard almost makes it square, right? Like, the top of the keyboard, you know what I mean?
Right.
I could make the keyboard hollow so there's enough room to be able to use those pins.
Oh, yeah, I didn't think about the headers sticking up off of there.
I have to split this in half first. Because it's currently just a box you wouldn't be able to put a pie into. Where does it split off on the original one? Oh, right off that line. So right here. Then straight across. And straight on till morning. So saith Captain Kirk. I'm rewatching Star Trek the original series because I don't think I've ever actually watched it in like one continuous line before.
Yeah.
There's been some interesting observations for me. A lot of people are complaining that the newer series are like they're only tying in existing characters for like fan service and trying to get people to watch. One of the characters they introduced in the original series was Zephyrin Cochrane, the inventor of warp drive. I don't remember. I know we have this discussion like repeatedly. Are you a Star Trek fan? Have you watched Star Trek?
I've watched it. I won't say that I'm a fan.
Oh, okay. In the original series, in the 1960s, they introduced a character, Zephyrin Cochrane, the inventor of warp drive, and then they reintroduced the character in a movie in 96, or yeah, I think it was 1996. And I'm like, every iteration of Star Trek has done something where it's been basically just fan service, where there's characters brought back just to be like, hey, you remember this character? Well, here he is again. Right,
yeah.
It's like, oh, in the original series, here's the guy that invented warp drive, and turns out he's still alive, even though he's been missing for 150 years. And then they bring him back in the movie First Contact, and they're like, and he's an alcoholic.
Well, you would be too if you were over 150 years old.
Oh no, First Contact, they went back in time to before he invented warp drive, and he was an alcoholic. It's good times and happy days. Go ahead and hide the pie.
No, Priscilla and I, one time we watched all of the movies. Like we did a binge watch of all of the old Star Trek movies. And
it's a lot of movies.
It is a lot of movies. And I found out that if you take the cinematography out of it, where they just fly around the outside of the ship.
Yeah.
If you take all that out, the movie's actually only like 6 minutes long.
That's just the first movie. The first movie was real bad for that.
There was a couple of them that just made me want to punch myself in the face.
Oh,
it was
call me next time. I'll punch you in the face.
It's like it was new technology, and they're like, we're going to use this. And it's like, oh my gosh, just get to it.
How tall should I make these keys? I don't even know. They're currently 6 millimeters tall.
And how tall is the case? Like how wide is the base of it right there?
I'm trying to remember what the dimensions ended up being, although I never measured the height, I don't think.
It looks like just over about 20 millimeters if those are 6.
The keys are quite tall on the Commodore 64.
Yeah, because they're big. They're big.
Yeah.
I don't know. Drag it a little bit and let's see.
All right. Well, no, that's not right.
That's probably a little too big.
Yeah, that's probably. I'm trying to look for a good side view because all the side views are like more of a like angled side view.
Yeah, well, drag it to be about 10 millimeters.
It looks like it might
see,
still be a little too
I
tall.
mean, they're big, but they're not the thickness of the case.
I think
would say
6.
I would say that 6 is pretty good.
That was my initial like feeling on it. And then we'll go ahead and change that to black. Actual black. And then these guys are a gray. So let's go with, I'm just going to use this one for the sake of.
Chris said they stick out about a centimeter.
Really?
If we
Okay, that makes sense. This case is about 60%, I think, size-wise. I think that's what the math worked out to. Let me see if I can pull up the history on my calculator. Oh, no, never mind. It was 40%. So these are still a little too tall then. Let's bring them down by another 0.2 or another 2. Let's do -4. There, that should be scaled then.
Oh, that seems really thin. I mean, they were definitely proud. I don't know. It's been a long time since I played with one.
Well, because I have to then divide these up so that it looks like it's individual keys. So I want to make sure I get it right. Oh, here's the other thing. It looks like the keys have a really weird curve to them.
Yeah, they are.
It's got almost like a U shape in it.
Yeah, they're indented in the top. They kind of round in and then they're indented in the top.
Okay, give me 2 seconds. I'll be right back. Okay.
Okay. Oh. Then I gotta actually talk to you guys. Sang says, check out Star Trek Continues on YouTube. They added on to the original Star Trek episodes. I started watching that Star Trek Lower Decks, and I made it to about the intro on the first episode, and I'm like, yeah, this isn't going to work for me. But a show that Priscilla and I just started watching, which has unfortunately been canceled in 2019, is called Life in Pieces. That show is funny. That show cracks. James.
Okay, I just went and got it.
Enough with the pictures.
So the top ones are quite a bit higher than the remainder ones. I guess it's, well, no, I think they're a little bit more pronounced than what we've done here. If we go side view. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, go back to the stick.
Yeah, I think so. Like, I'm just gonna eyeball this on pictures and stuff like that, and that took me what 8 seconds to actually go get the original. Yeah, so this is one that's in need of retro writing, and it needs some repair work done. It's pretty scuffed up. I've got 3 or 4 of these guys. But this is the most complete one. Some of them have broken keys and stuff. I've picked them up for free along the years. Along with this, the fast load cartridge. So this allowed games and stuff to load at like 8 times the regular speed. Oh, no, doesn't want to go back in.
Now, 38 people watching right now, and only 13 of you thumbs up. And 2 jerkholes gave us a thumbs down.
Bunch of jerkholes. That's fine. You'll get yours. I'm just kidding. We're not violent.
You get what's coming to you if you know what's good.
That's
I'm fairly pleased with the way this turned out. I think it's back being usable now. I can run some PETG threw it again. Well, let's have that conversation. This is a conversation I've been wanting to have for a while. Is it PETG or is it PETG?
I call it PETG.
Well, I want to throw it out to the community as a whole. I'm curious because what is Glenn doing with a 3D printer? Equals thumbs up. Yeah, I want to know the general consensus because it actually makes me cringe a little when people call it PETG because we don't call it PLA or abs. You know, why would we call it PETG if everything else is the initials? So stop doing it the way that I don't do it.
I insist.
Do it my way or else. Is it IBAS?
Okay, so here's what I think I'm going to do. I think I'm going to do this. This might not be the best way to do it, but it's the James way to do it. So if you're not James, you can ignore this. Let's do that, and then we'll divide it by 5. Yes. There's 5 rows of keys. Makes sense. So 8.136. And then go up another 8.16.
Uncle Ron said, how would you pronounce TPU? Tapoo? Tapoo or not tapoo?
Always poo. No, we can't do it that way.
Tom said PETG, but who really cares as long as you don't use PETG.
Nice. Create rectangular pattern. We need
Tapoo.
4 divides.
Oh, yeah. I don't. That I was watching. I think it was a YouTube video that I was watching, and the guy was doing something else. Let's say he was building, I don't know, a CNC table. But then he had a 3D printer, and he kept printing everything out of PETG, and it's really started to bother me because we don't say PLA or abs. So anybody that says it as PETG, you're wrong, and I'm right.
Too bad about your face.
That,
How many people just unsubscribed from you? I hope all of them.
We actually gained 1 watcher.
Oh, that's nice.
Somebody's like, "Oh, they're talking about PETG."
This channel isn't scared to pull or to not pull their punches. I like that.
That's right. We talk about the controversial stuff.
Why is it not changing it away from? That's weird.
People call peak, not PEEK. Well, that doesn't make it right. Just call it polyethylene I can never pronounce that. Glycol.
That sounded like you're gearing up to say something else.
I can never say that word.
Yeah, it's a family channel. You can't say that word.
Phthalate. I'll have to work on that one.
Great. I messed up. Getting too distracted by how funny you are, Glenn.
Brian Mine said, I have a flat stomach. The L is silent. Uncle Ron said, I keep $1,000 in the back room. I feed it and care for it. It's my pet G.
Get out. How do I unsubscribe somebody else from your channel?
Well, I'm I'm just pleased that this thing is back up and ready to go. Now all I gotta do is find something I need to print.
I'm not looking forward to trying to split this into the individual keys.
No, that does not seem like it's going to be a fun job because it's not grid.
Let's see, what are we going to do for this? 0.6, and we're not going to do equal distances. We're going to do 2 distances. So
Michael Molinari is asking, are you making an old basic computer?
I'm making something that looks like an old basic computer, but it's going to have a Pi inside it, and a non-functional keyboard that's I'm still trying to put more effort into detailing than it's probably worth.
Chris Lane apparently is going to feed his burb.
Burb. Burb is the word. So 5 and 0.6. Messed up there somehow. I'll be able to fix it probably.
All right, so that's my make for today. I made some 0.4 millimeter filament.
There you go. Like a legend, like a boss. I mean, how accurate does this Pi case actually have to be? Nobody cares.
No, nobody's going to get in there and like, well, nobody important will.
I mean, nobody cares about my designs anyways. It's all good. I'm the only one that prints them.
Absolutely amazing. And I mean, not even, we won't talk about what just happened. Not only like on stuff that I've done, but just reading comments on other people's YouTube channels. It's amazing how picky people get about stuff.
Yep.
How critical everybody is. And of course, you know, my thought is, well, go do it better then.
Go do it more gooder than I.
That's right. Oh, I know what I need to print. And it needs to be Pet G.
So I'm not going to put the curvature on the keycaps because these aren't going to be functional buttons anyways, and I don't think you'll be able to get the detail printed into them to show it.
That small, I think it would cause more issues than not.
That's also my feeling. I'm making the design choice now not to do that.
For those of you who are paying attention, I just unplugged this printer while the hot end was still hot. Ooh.
Oh, you're in trouble now. I knew you were trouble when you walked in. Let's do modify split body. See if I can get away with this without having to draw another line. Sometimes it complains. Not that time, though. And we'll combine. Yes, if you're going to push thumbs down, push it twice. It's a pro tip. Show us you double hate us.
Yeah, if you really want to thumbs down, let's make sure you do it 2 times so that it sticks. Always do it in even numbers.
Now I'll show how much time I wasted by how I did it on that one by doing this. Yeah.
Shane said might have to call Prusa Social Services and rescue that printer.
Something screwed up here. Why didn't it like that? That one there. That one there. That one there. And that one there. It is not doing what I want it to. Okay, back to the other way, I guess.
I don't even know if you'd have to necessarily divide those.
I'm going to do it anyways. Not a big deal to do it.
How big is that gap in between?
At the top, it's 1.2 millimeters. And then it goes down.
Yeah, that's pretty small.
Oh, it's probably 3 nozzle widths. It'll still be enough to define the keys.
Yeah. Tom said someone should make dog and or cat hair in the PET, and then they can call it Pet,
Pet
G.
Nice.
He said select the face as a whole, not the edges, and it'll work right.
Select the face as a whole. Then it does the sides too, though, doesn't it?
Did I hear Jesse PLA has dog hair in it? Not intentionally.
Tried to do it with the last key, no go.
So there is a new plugin for Octoprint called Procrastinator. And I'm thinking, I already have that plugin built in.
To myself.
Yeah. The description is puts print jobs on hold until a certain time. Yeah, I already have that function.
Okay, so now I have to divide this into actual keys, don't I? I mean, I know I don't have to, but I have to.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think that you really need to. I think it looks pretty good like that.
Gosh darn it. You think I should just leave it like that? If I bring back... Like that's where you leave it?
Yep. I think that looks plenty sufficient for a miniature pie case.
You know what? I'm going to leave it up to chat. We'll give a 1-minute vote.
Should I keep tabs? It'd be nice if we could do some kind of a poll in here. Hello, Paul. That's Polymate Paul.
Ah. We'll let the vote go till 5:41. 45 seconds from now.
Well, so far we have one vote for can't see the details anyway. I want you to actually put the numbers and letters on each key.
Can you let Sean Butler know that I already blocked him?
Looks good. Seems fine to me. Looks okay to me. Looks good. Carl coming in late to the game wants to know if it's a C64 or an Amiga. That is a C64. Builder's Mark said, looks great. Still think you should create venting under the grooves at the top.
Oh, there will definitely be some sort of form of ventilation in this before
if you could see Sean Butler's posts, he says, I knew it wouldn't be long. Brian Vine says, oh, we don't get horizontal divisions between the keycaps. So he's the only one.
He's the only one that says yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think I'm going to leave it as is for now.
Chris said, Brian, you do. You just make them yourself.
Why does the spacing look off between these guys? Or is that just me? Is it the angle? Oh, it's just probably the angle. No, that one's different. This one's different. So we'll slap that and do that. And then we'll do this. And 5.6. The one above it wrong?
Can't even make it a 10 key.
The spacing between these guys looks different. Right? Like the gap between here looks different than the gap here and here.
Yes.
And I don't know why. So let's do this. And let's do
Chris said
this.
undo and it was correct.
Undo it was correct. Okay. See, because with the other ones,
No, I think he was saying like to undo it from there and it was correct. Did you make a change to it? There you go. Come back.
oh. I must have done that one twice.
There you go.
Chris saves the day twice in a row today. Thanks, Chris.
Yeah, man.
I didn't realize I did it twice. Okay, so I guess I can add the chamfer to the outer edges of these guys too then.
Chris is like the MVP of today's stream. He's just like on the ball.
Absolutely. I'll do that to all of them. Make it look good. Nope. Nope, one of them didn't turn out right there.
Still only 20. Oh, we had 22 thumbs up and it went down. Somebody took one away.
Take my thumbs up away.
But 3 thumbs downs. Somebody didn't read the rules right.
I'm getting too easily distracted by shiny things. So we're going down 5 and going in 0.6. Good. Well, joke's on them. I'm going to go give us a thumbs up on all of my accounts. So 15 minutes should be just about enough time to do it. Oh, we have 26 thumbs up from what I see.
28, but 5
my.
thumbs downs. Listen, if you guys are going to give thumbs down, you have to click it twice so that it sticks.
Yep. Otherwise, they cancel it at the end of the stream, and you've accomplished nothing. So. What else do we need to add to this? Looks pretty decent so far. I gotta find some ugly brown to print it in. I'll probably. So the thing is, these cases were originally that classic yellowish beige color that you expect from retro stuff, and
Right.
it was just very susceptible to the browning process. So a lot of the pictures you find of them look like this, but I have filament that matches this, so I'll probably print it in that.
You have a filament in that
In
brown.
the old computer color, not the Commodore 64 brown color.
Yeah, because they released a Commodore 64 that was brown, didn't they?
I don't think it was. From what I've read, the ones that you see brown were actually originally that other color, and some of the plastic they used was very, very quick to change this color.
Huh.
But oh yeah, I still have to cut. Nothing's actually cut out on it yet. I meant in terms of detail. I'm going to finish the detailing, I think, first, because that's all anybody cares about on here. That's all you want. You all just want it to look real.
That's right. I want each of those keys to work individually.
Monsters.
Paul says, I don't plan on making a speaker small enough for these.
Need a spot for the Commodore 64 badge up here. Just looking to see how many vents it covers. It looks like it covers 1, 2, 3. Did I miscount these? How many vents did I put on here? I might have miscounted. Or wait, I didn't even count. Somebody said you have to put the 5 vents in, right?
Yeah, Chris said that.
1, 2,
That's 5.
3, 4. Is there 6? This picture's very. I'm sure that looks real good. I just realized how, as I'm leaning into to zoom in, I'm just putting my face right in front of the camera.
Yeah, I can't point,
1,
but that
2,
looks like 5 to me.
There's 6. There's 6 on the original design.
Oh, there's 6 on the actual one.
I'm not changing it. Good enough. Everybody vote good enough for me. Just kidding. Don't care.
Yeah, Dan, James actually has some of that from Printed Solid for a different project, but the problem is Printed Solid doesn't ship to Canada.
It cost me $100 to get 2 kilos of it here because I had to get it shipped to somebody else in between. So that's life.
Because somebody had to go to the border and throw it over the mountain.
Yeah, over the ice wall.
Tony Ryan said, am I late? Did you talk about White Castle yet? Nope. We hadn't talked about White Castle yet today. Paul, yes, the FK1, it's working fine. So, I mean, there's small tweaks and tunes that I'll still be working on. The main thing that I'm concerned with right now is longevity of the wiring harnesses inside the cable chains. But only time will tell on those. So. It's working fine as a coffee table. It would be too big for a coffee table. It's entirely too tall for that.
Sorry, I'm being a little meticulous about trying to do something that's not even going to match anyways.
Yeah, the biggest issue, Paul, is that the cable chain to the extruder I've broken twice now, and I've had to rebuild it. So that's the one that concerns me. This latest time I put it in store-bought cable chains. We'll see if that holds up better.
Distance, oh, here. We'll do a join.
Well, if I put a glass top on it, it could be a kitchen table.
Let's do one of these. Circle, where are you? And we're gonna do one of these, the 2-point circles, and we'll just go from here to here. And from here to here. Just in case somebody actually wants to put a badge on it. Fill your boots. There's probably professionals that have watched me do this and cringed at the entire thing.
Yeah, probably. Lars used to tune in over here, but he couldn't take your skills any longer.
That's fair. I can barely take my own skills. Just curious, if I do this and I do say 0.4, it should be one nozzle width. That looks all right. See, the only thing I have working to my advantage is the fact that nothing's really centered or anything on here. Like all the measurements almost seem like it was just somebody throwing stuff at a chalkboard.
Fully arbitrary.
Yep. So there's the first hole. So then we need.
Cable chains are so 2017. Do a steel spring band like the tool chain. People have been doing that spring steel band for a while too. In fact, you can use the blade out of a tape measure for that, but I couldn't get it to run the radius that I needed. So you know, it sounds like my dinner might be here. Sounds like dinner's here. Or there's an intruder in the front yard. Yeah. Go make sure that somebody can answer the front door. Go. Do
you think you should go?
I don't like you anymore, given you suck.
Say he doesn't like you right now?
He says he doesn't like you anymore. You suck.
Oh, that's fair. I don't like me either. Joke's on you. You can't hate me as much as I hate myself.
I hate the fact that Prusa does not have all the parts in G-code. They only have upgrade parts in G-code.
Oh, so if you need to reprint a piece that you broke for your existing model, you're
yeah,
as well.
They're only they have the STLs,
Hmm.
but I have to go to a different computer for that, and we only have 6 minutes left, so not going to happen. Cat was barking. No, the doorbell told me. The ring doorbell.
It's a little bit bigger than I want it to be, but I don't care. Let's do that.
It is here? Okay, well, I'm still on, so. All right, guys. Well, that's going to wrap up this stream because my dinner's here. No. I don't know what I did with the little protective covering. So
There, they wanted ventilation. I'm going to put a 2.2 millimeter hole right here. There you go. Instant ventilation.
That's good ventilation.
Yeah.
I had to order a new screen for one of the laptops for work, and it came with some tools. It came with just a cheap quality X-Acto blade.
Mm.
And this nice little like scraper spatula. It's got a sharp edge on it, but it's nice. It's about 1 centimeter wide, but it came with a set of these super fine point tweezers, which I really, really like. These work really good for grabbing the filament off of the nozzle and stuff, so you don't burn yourself.
I I know I said I didn't care, but I just undid everything I did because when I saw the final product, I did care.
Okay, because we hated it too.
You and me both,
Everybody
brother.
in secret chat was saying it looked awful.
That's fair. You know why? Because it did look awful.
Tony Ryan wants to know if you're going to have the design done in 6 minutes. And actually, now you only have 4.
Clearly.
Bye, Brian.
Is that Mr. Brian Vines taking off?
It is Brian with a Y, Vines with an I.
Not with one end like a serial killer, though.
No. Glenn isn't in here today, is he?
Not that I've seen.
Got tired of my serial killer jokes. He's good people. See, I can say that about him because he's not in here. So I got official word from Orlando Maker Faire that
Canceled?
Yeah, it is canceled. But what they're doing is they're going to do a series of small, I think they call them like pop-up maker events. So they have one on the 26th, which is Xander's birthday, at I'll say local because it's not super local to me. It's about an hour or so away, but Makerspace. And so then the majority of it's going to be outside, but you can tour the inside of the Makerspace if you choose to, that kind of stuff. And so, and then if you wanted to show up and if you had anything to show, if you had anything to display, you could register for a spot, and it's free, which is really cool. I mean, Orlando Maker Faire is free to display too, as long as you're not making any money. If you're selling stuff, then you got to pay a little fee, but. Two minutes, no pressure.
Finishing it right now. Everybody's going to be like that. Why are you not?
Ron said going to show off Xander because you made him. That would be pretty funny. Make him stand on a podium and be like, I made that. Until you get that, that 8-year-old kid that comes by and says, how did you make that, mister?
You'll never understand, kid. Body, is this one? Oh, I just realized I didn't place that far enough back in the case. Control Z through everything. That's what I get for trying to rush to be a smart butt. It's like, oh, I'll show them. I will get it done. Nope.
So in Fusion, you can't move holes?
I don't think I can move them if I've made them from an offset of a component that I've put in. So let's just do a move on this guy. Components. This.
Time's up.
No, your time's up.
Oh, I'm yawning.
They're so close
Wouldn't
too.
it be nice when they made that board, if they made like the USB ports and the HDMI ports and everything stick out the same amount?
Oh yes, absolutely. I thought you were saying like the model of it. It's like, no, that's how much they stick out in real life. You're like, no, if everything was equal.
No, like when they actually make the pie, if all those items across there were the same.
No, I get what you're saying. So that they all came to the same depth, so everything lined up with the end of the auxiliary port, for example. But they didn't because they don't like us that much.
No, they don't care about people who make cases.
Pie is not their bread and butter. Okay, give me 30 more seconds. I'm just about done.
Tom says that you can if you go back in the timeline move, and then everything goes with it.
Oh, you know what the problem's going to be?
It's going to
Look at
hit in the corner of the case.
Look at how thin this is going to be here. Is it still
Yep.
point? It's going to be 2 layers thick at that point. That'll be fine, though. The rest of the case will be supporting it. I'm not going to worry about it only being 2 layers thick on one little part there.
Yeah, because the back of it's going to be, you'll have support across the whole entire back.
Yep, that's fine. It's a non-issue. I've said it before. I may not do this the best way. I'm not claiming that I do. I may not pronounce fillet the way they want me to say it. I say fillet. And then all I have to do is make this guy disappear and the top disappear. And then I can go in here and oh, that complicates things a little bit. It complicates things a little bit because this isn't all on the same face.
Yeah.
We can call it there. We can call it a semi-pass because I don't like to say I'm a failure. Other people can call me a failure behind my back. That's fine. I guess there's enough of a face here that I could have just done this. I could have done it the exact same way instead. Oh. Okay, let's call it there.
Well, all right, everybody. That's going to bring us to the close of today's awesome 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time Sunday live stream related somewhat to 3D printing. And and
Bam, full size.
What's that? Oh, there you are.
Bam, full size.
As I say every week, we appreciate each and every one of you guys tuning in and hanging out with us, because without you guys, these streams would be useless. And to the 4 of you who gave us a thumbs down, thanks for taking the initiative. I guess until next Sunday, we'll probably might catch you in between on the Twitters. I am trying to be better about at least posting the links to these streams on the Facebook. So if you guys want to share them out into Facebook groups, that would be great, because I don't want to do any self-promoting.
Yeah, self-promotion makes you look desperate like me.
Yeah. I mean, not that anybody, out there, like, everybody knows I'm desperate, but, I don't want it to seem that way. So, but thank you guys. We love each and every one of you, and we appreciate you guys being here. And then, as always,
Print on.
print on.